Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Ernie C, the Gap Tooth Genius. This is episode 163 of Keep Grinding the Podcast. I am back with my co-host, Arnold Cueto. How you doing, sir?
How's it going?
Nice seeing you today, man.
Good to see you.
Love the Ico Pro, keeping it real old school wrestling. Oh, man. We are putting over wrestling that we love. This is
Doing the job.
Sir, what a great week of wrestling. We have some highs, we have some lows.
A lot of content to go over.
We have a lot, and that's we were prepared for that. Before we dive into it, what is kind of the highlight for you that sticks out to you this week?
Oh man, quite a few things. You know, you got Roman coming back on Monday Night Raw. That was pretty big. The whole injury angle with Seth, and how that's going to affect things going into the future. I think another kind of low-key highlight was Naomi cashing in.
Naomi, man, and I know we shy away from a lot of other stuff, but women's wrestling sometimes is always not the core of our conversation. We could start off there today.
Sure.
Naomi cashes in, and I love the way I got the upper hand now. I will not be the third wheel anymore, and I love that.
Oh, they set that up beautifully. I think she had her match with Jade kind of made it look like they just kind of wore each other out to the point where they were done for the day. So you didn't really give it as an afterthought. The other thing is you go into this match with, and you know, they kind of were more implying that that Naomi was going to go after Tiffany Stratton, her title, and then. The swerve was you have Rhea and is it Io?
Io Sky.
And Io Sky.
Yeah.
Who you thought like, okay, this is going to be whoever comes out of this is going to be the main event of SummerSlam or the women's main event for SummerSlam. And sure enough, Naomi cashes in after a really hardcore match between Io.
Match. Yeah, that was probably. I'm not gonna lie. That was the only match I caught on the Women's Evolution.
Oh.
I guess Evolution at part 2. Great match, dude. And we're gonna see Io Sky and Rhea for a very long time.
Oh yeah,
that's a rivalry that could be. I'm not trying to shock value, but that could be a Ric Flair type of rivalry because they're so young and we have time to build this up. They're gonna be feuding for years and giving those quality type of matches.
If they give us the matches like that, they're not gonna be. No one's gonna say no to it. You know?
Definitely, man, definitely. I think again, with Naomi cashing in changes the game a little bit too.
Oh, it opens up so much now. I mean, now we got, I think immediately you're starting with the Rhea Naomi kind of thing, which is good. I mean, you have Naomi as the champion and the Rhea as one of the top stars in the company, so she's going to be giving an element of interest into that SummerSlam match if that's what they're setting up.
We have Smackdown on July 11th.
Okay.
I know that was a week ago. I know how fast things change. Do you want to go over a few things you liked about SmackDown on the 11th of July?
Yeah, I guess we can go over. I think one of the we'll start with what I see there. I think you're up a little bit more. The celebrities, they're starting off with Logan Paul and Jelly Roll, kind of bringing him into the world of wrestling. Logan Paul, who's been performing for a while now, he's actually despite all of his extracurriculars away from wrestling, he's actually a solid performer and a good talent.
No, he definitely Jelly Roll has a hell of a bar to beat if he's trying to beat that. I did not know how old Jelly Roll was either until I seen him kind of. I was like, how old is Jelly Roll? You can tell by the way he moves. But you know what? If that's the way they're going, it's business, and we got to get some eyes on the product. Even though you can never have enough eyes on the product, right?
You know, the good thing about Jelly Roll, a guy like that, is you can tell he was a fan growing up. He wasn't somebody that just kind of walked into it. He's not, He sees what the seriousness of it is. He's trying to get involved in it and make it look, passable. Definitely. Shout out to that chokeslam he did on Austin Theory a while back. I mean,
yeah. He raised his ass like he was up there.
Yeah,
he was definitely up there. Man, again, this is doing the job. We're not going to be negative. I'm going to just roll with it. I'm happy that it's happening. I like Jelly Roll. He seems like a cool dude.
They were able to do something on, I think, the Late Show or the Tonight Show with Jimmy Kimmel show.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah,
and anytime you bring extra eyes to the world of wrestling, it's always a plus.
100%. And I love when Drew McIntyre gave him that Claymore kick, and he's telling like, no, he stepped in the ring. He's in our world. Anything can happen to you now. They can't protect you, and that was pretty cool. I like that a lot.
the idea of these celebrities selling moves, it's always kind of an interest. I mean, the bar is always going to be for me Pete Rose selling the the tombstones, man.
That was a hell of a time. Every year, that WrestleMania tombstone,
and just like a champ sold it, man. Like,
yeah, definitely. I love the LA Knight feud. He has that momentum we always talk about, and he's had it. He went into it with Saturday Night Main Event, that Friday night promo with Paul Heyman.
Oh yeah,
really carried that momentum. I felt like
it's kind of I mean, I feel bad for LA because he kind of with the injury kind of playing out in his match, it kind of stops. It kind of stops the momentum. Even though he gets a win, it's over Seth Rollins, the top guy, but it wasn't a true match, and I think we got 4 or 5 minutes out of that match. Yeah. So and I know there's a story there to tell. Hopefully, there's something going on there that we want to pursue with LA Knight. Maybe just before a little bit more stuff to pursue just outside the main event picture before we finally go all in with him.
Another, I guess, highlight that I want to, complain about, even though it's doing the job. What are we doing? Is this R-Truth run the way we planned this out, or we just had to do something else with him because he wasn't in the plans?
It's
we had the hype. I feel like that momentum. It's hard to get that momentum organically.
Mm-hmm.
He had that momentum, and it's like, what do we do with? And I love Aleister Black. I think he's a great character. He needs the story, but
right.
It's just
I could have walked away with a little bit better than just that roll up win.
Yeah, definitely.
Now I don't know if you saw this. Truth posted a picture. It was him, Carmelo Hayes, and the Street Profits.
Did not see that.
It was just like I was thinking about somebody. I saw some theory like, man, if they make this into a stable and run the angle of just not being appreciated by the group, because look at Truth, like they didn't do anything with him until recently. They let him go. He came back. That's a storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Melo's been on the main roster now for a few months, and what do they? He's kind of lingering around. They just took the tag titles off the Street Profits the entire time they were champions. They never did one PLE. They never, So like the idea of those guys kind of all working together in some sort of like underappreciated, yeah,
dude. Picture.
Like I can see that and get behind that.
And it's all I love the past and the now. You know what I mean? Like that is an evolution type of formula.
All those guys have a chip on their shoulder. It's not just 4 guys that are coming together to be a group just for the sake of they share one thing in common. Like no, these guys have legitimate gripe against like the system not using them or not being appreciated. That kind of thing.
They can call it the truth. We are the truth. We hear that.
The Truth Faction. Yeah. I think that might have been an old Don Callis group back in the day.
Let's see. What else was worthy of SmackDown? Let's see. That was kind of the showdown. But let's go into Saturday Night's Main Event.
Sure.
We have a lot to talk about. Randy or Drew McIntyre.
Always a good, hard-hitting match between those two. Those two guys. I remember thinking to myself, what are they gonna do? Because I remember when Drew just turned heel initially, after losing the belt, he got into a feud with Randy, and they had that match. There was I believe an ambulance match, and I was thinking to myself like, man, I remember that was not too long ago. How are they going to kind of go on, top that? And it didn't have to top that, but it's always a good hard hitting match quality.
It's not a night off for them at all.
Definitely, the 2 guys that are just kind of like it's good to see just 2 guys who look like good wrestlers that can work.
And they tower. These are we says we all know this, but these are legit 6'4", 6'5" athletes that they could hurt you if they
250,
really want to.
260, maybe 290 from what I hear about Randy. Just solid dudes, man.
It's crazy how the evolution of Randy Orton too, man. This guy has his age has done him well, and he's a factor. Love the wrestling shirts to that old 80s.
Oh yeah, the throwback to Saturday Night, the red, white, and blue robes.
Yeah, man. The logo on the barricades.
The rest wearing the old bow ties and everything.
Yeah, man. And we have Logan Paul here with a sleeveless. That's hilarious. No, I think the presentation of Saturday Night Main Event, and they made it feel important. And I think that's the most important. This was not a glorified house show.
Correct.
In any aspect of it. This was a,
But felt more important than your average SmackDown or Raw, but it was still, there's some implications there and things like that. Just an old school grudge match between these 2 guys that they're setting up a deeper angle with these guys once they work in Jelly Roll and Logan Paul.
Hot crowd too, man.
Yeah.
Hot crowd.
Definitely.
Let's see here. And towards the end of this, I'm sure we'll see it. we have Jelly Roll and Logan
get involved,
interfere in this match, get involved, and they set up this this feud that's gonna be they're gonna see the climax there at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
it's gonna be Jelly Roll, Randy Orton versus Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre, which is I think that's decent. I think that's gonna get some eyes. It's gonna be legit.
Yeah,
there's gonna be some workers in there. I think that's gonna be okay. I'm honestly okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Next we had Jade versus Naomi. No, this was the solo. When did this happen?
That was.
Oh, that was in the crowd.
Yeah,
because they didn't have any women's matches this week.
Correct.
Okay.
Everything was being held back.
That was a nice way to build up the program the next day. I think that was very, very.
And to their credit, Jade and Naomi had a very good, hard-hitting match. It was they had some spots there. Again, the biggest thing I think that people always wonder about Jade is he gonna be a smooth night? Is she gonna stay within her lane and try to do things the right way? Again, if she's presented well, she's as good as as a main event character as anybody that they have. Definitely. I think this feud with her and Naomi really did a good job of presenting, both best of, Naomi kind of going outside that box of just her happy-go-lucky self. Now she's kind of got that,
She's a dog in her, dude.
Exactly.
And I like proceed with caution. Love that line. I thought that was very clever. And I love the way they built it up with this, just showing Jade on the Titantron. And here comes Naomi from behind. Great way to hype it up. We had Solo and Jimmy.
Again, decent match between the two of them. I didn't have a sense that the title was going to change hands at all. I don't know what the long story build is there. I don't think the title's coming off of Solo in a match like this. I think what's going to happen is we're going to see a build up of faction lines between what is the old school bloodline and now what we're calling the MFT.
What that was MFT?
My family tree.
Oh my god! I should have googled this. We watched so much of it. I'm like, what? I forget what that was. What is MFT? I was thinking that the whole time watching this. Well, did you watch this live?
I caught. What did I miss? I caught the second half of this match.
Okay.
I'll be honest. I was finishing up because I put in 5 hours into that AEW pay-per-view. I wanted to finish it.
Oh my god, I did not watch it. Man, you're a better man than me, bro. Oh my, you might have to find a new co-host. Damn, I even let you down. I did not watch a single minute of it.
I was messing around with another friend where I was like, man, this pay-per-view started almost at middle of the day, and here it's like almost 6 o'clock, and this thing's still going on, man.
Dude, 5 hours is crazy, and I believe it though. That's what they do.
Yeah.
That's what they all do. Can't even say them. It's
right.
what they all do. Again, I love Solo here, man. I love Jimmy. Like you said, the storylines are going to develop. And again, dude, I know some guys of Talatonga is not some people's favorite, but he's becoming a favorite of mine, dude. I like Talatonga.
Again, I think once we see all the group kind of work more, I think we'll get a better appreciation of just how everybody works together and like that. And, my big thing right now is I've seen Solo's group. I'm interested to see what's going to play out with this Jimmy, Jacob. I'm sure Jay will probably jump back in now since he's kind of freed up from what he was working on. Roman just came back, so he might be in the mix. And then if we see anybody else,
My guy Jimmy's working too, man. Jimmy's working, man.
Yeah.
You gotta respect Jimmy's. They're working hard to get this shit over, and it's working.
Jimmy, as cool as it is to see like a twin group come in and wrestling and stuff like that, the hardest thing is for the one to find his identity once the other one takes off. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Like I can't imagine how hard it is for Jimmy to try and figure out what it is he's got to do now to get himself over.
That's like a la when Scott went heel on Rick.
Yeah.
Like Rick didn't really have that run, and Scott was being Big Paul Pump and.
But how far over did Scott have to go to separate himself from being Steiner brother?
Definitely. Again, man, I just said it, but Tonga, man, there's something there. I just know there's something there, dude. Like, love the way he sells.
And I'll give you.
This is awesome. Like, that's fucking awesome, dude. The little thing on his ass, the pin, like
pushing him forward.
Dude, that is fucking awesome.
The little thing too, and I don't know if it's just his work in the performance center or what, but I've noticed since talk, because I remember Hikuleo a little bit and seeing him in other places, but he is really starting to take to that big man wrestling style.
Yeah.
He doesn't get off his feet. He sells without tipping over, that kind of thing. I think I saw, I don't know if you saw this, there was a storyline. It was not a storyline, an article. Kevin Nash was kind of critiquing Raquel Rodriguez.
Yes. And she kind of, she walked
No,
over it.
Her response was awesome. It was, she's like, no, he's a pioneer in this game. He knows exactly what he's talking about, and if he's gonna take his time out and watch me, I'm gonna listen to what he's saying. You know?
Yes, and that's the way it shouldn't be the Adam Page route of I don't gotta listen to anybody.
Right.
We're here now. Like I don't do advice. No, Kevin. I listened to a lot of the Nash show too, man. With Sean. Who the hell is Sean? I should know this. Damn it. What's Sean? What did I say, Sean?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. What the hell?
I always forget.
We always do this.
It's always the other guy, like, the Trevor Conrad Thompsons and Brian Lasks and the other guy,
Yeah. So Sean, but yeah, I listened, and he's a very big critic. Not just her, but every big man who doesn't work like a big man.
Right.
Like, no, that makes no sense. Like, how are we supposed to sell you as this big guy? And
no, like I said, I think we talked about this before, but there's a group of women out there that can be, the female versions of those Kevin Nash's, Undertaker's, Kane, Sid's, the big wrestlers who don't have to be, they don't have to be the big show per se, or
Definitely.
Andre, but they can be their own version of a big person.
Okay, let me find this real fast. I'm gonna kick my ass if I don't find them. I'm horrible at that. Where is this at? I want to say it's O'Connery, but I don't think it's Sean Oliver. Damn it, man. Shoot interviews. What are we doing? I hate when I do that. Next match is probably the most, I guess it was anticipated, but what's been going on off the ring too has been interesting. We had the retirement match of Bill Goldberg versus our heavyweight champion, the ring general, Gunther.
So with this match, you knew with Goldberg being 58 and, at his prime and his peak at his best, Goldberg had that explosive power that, snatch you up, put you in a gorilla press, slam you around throw you around the ring kind of thing. He's not that guy anymore, unfortunately. They were going to have to figure out a way to work this match in a style that can cater to what Goldberg's capable of doing right now, and focus in on the things that he can. Gunther has that big chop that everybody sells, but Goldberg kind of used that old school monster in him that, like, he knows Saul didn't smile in his face. So that was good to see. Obviously with his limitations, he came in wearing that big old giant knee brace or whatever.
Went after the leg too. Gunther's a pro at attacking that one body part and making it a part of the story of the whole. This is how he's gonna take you down.
Yep. And they stretched it out and worked it in. Goldberg was still able to get a spear in. He was able to get a jackhammer. Shout out to him and Gunther for making that jackhammer look decent.
Yeah, man.
And got his stuff in.
My biggest complaint before we go on. Last week I seen this finish with the sleeper, and they do the 3 count. Here, one time down. We have to be consistent. I'm all about consistency just in life. If you're gonna be consistent, we're gonna establish these rules. It should be always the 3.
Right.
Because that's. I guess I'm not a wrestler, but damn, when that second one goes and that third one's about to fall, you could bring that crowd in, or hey, that third one, you're out. Like, the psychology of that it's really nice to see. It's a good visual.
Well, and again, it's a homage back to the old school, and back in the day it was always 3.
Yeah.
Now I think with the advent of once wrestlers started involving like tapping out and things like that, I think it turned into more of a maybe a one-time thing to try and add the realism to it or whatever. But at the same time, it's just like, you're losing, building up your drama a little bit with that.
It would have been nice to see Goldberg not get that third one in there. Just give him the 3, and that's it. Like, that to me, it's a better visual, and that puts Gunther over. Like, he made Goldberg go to sleep.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to tap out. He just a la Austin when when Hart had the sharpshooter. It was the 3 times and
never quit. Just passed out.
Yeah. It's like, dude, that's the visual. I think it's very important. I seen it. They did it in WWE last week. I forgot what finish it was. They did the 3 count, and it's like here they just did it one time and called it, and then Goldberg got his speedy ass speech, which they didn't air, and that's kind of like the biggest And I don't. My only critique, I know if he ever does watch this, he overshadowed your moment with the bullshit, and I don't like that when it comes to when I was a coach, I used to always tell the girls, be mad about your stuff, but let's keep it in the house because if we go out here in the campus and you start acting up, it's gonna overshadow our win that we had last night because now it's the drama and the negative. Stop overshadowing your moment with BS, and Goldberg's doing that right now, bro.
Well, I mean, look at the big timers that had their supposed last match. When Flair went out against Shawn, he didn't get on the mic. A couple of people came in, gave him his hugs, walked out, kind of gave his little bow or whatever. When Shawn lost to Taker, kind of the same thing. It wasn't anything done. Taker, I don't know if he had an official last match or whatever, but
Triple H didn't get a send off.
No.
He put the shoes in the ring, walked out.
Right.
Bret Hart unfortunately didn't get his send off.
Of all people to talk about during the Goldberg match.
Yeah, man. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, right.
Kane didn't get one off. It's like, dude, not everybody gets that. Even Ric Flair's last match looked like shit. But that one with that Conrad put on that.
Oh yeah, the one against Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, that wasn't like this is the best way to send you off. And I know it wasn't rushed a little bit. Yes, it was. I agree with him 100%. Did he deserve a little bit better? Yeah, but you're going against you're going against the heavyweight champion who just defeated the top guy who just got the big Royal Rumble rub in Jey Uso, who's on top of the world right now, and you got a good 12-minute match out of him, bro. You cannot be mad about the presentation of your last retirement match.
Well, and again, not to speak negatively, but when was the last time Goldberg won a match?
Yes, and looked decent.
What was the justification for putting him in a title match and that kind of thing? Every Goldberg match that he's had in the last 5-6 years has been some sort of main event, if not for the title, and on top of being put in the WWE Hall of Fame.
He's never been the mid card guy. They've never presented him as that. He's never had to.
Oh no.
You've never seen Goldberg in the beginning of the card on the Raw. He's never. That's why he's always been respected on his placement of the card, no matter where, who's in charge, who's all that. All that the backstage politics. Goldberg's always had a spot.
Right.
And it's like, dude, I get it. Your speech didn't air the way you wanted it to. But you know what? They put it on YouTube. You got over 1 million views. And I'm not saying he's whiny, because you know what? Maybe he's the ego's a crazy thing, and maybe he was promised something that we don't know he's promised. Right. So, but it's overshadowing your last match, and that's kind of like I hate the glory people get, and then they overshadow it with negative shit.
Right.
Like, dude, we just put all this work into it. Now it's gone. People are always going to talk about your complaints.
Well, again, yeah, you don't want. We went into this with the idea of we're sending him off, and we're like, okay, once we sent him off, but you didn't do this. It's like, okay.
And he talks so much shit about Bret. That's a la Bret.
Yeah.
Because Bret is known to complain. I love Bret too. He's one of my top 5 wrestlers of all time. But he's known to have a gripe.
Yeah.
And I get it, but and we talk about this, the formula, the content, the amount of content that comes out. The time is just a little bit more different than it was back in the day when people weren't eating this alive on the internet 24/7. It's not Nitro days. It's not even 14 years ago Raw. It's different times.
I mean, the amount of capable and quality stars that they have in the company now, where time's got to be spent on different people. We can't just state the whole show can't be built up around one guy anymore, and unfortunately.
And it was in his hometown. It was on a Saturday Night Main Event. You headlined another great show, and we didn't have you go. We didn't have you get annihilated by a young upcoming guy we're trying to get over, who's not over. It wasn't like Austin Theory came in and just whooped his ass.
Yeah, they didn't feed him to an up and coming talent. Like Gunther's probably one of the top 5 wrestlers in the world right now.
And he made him look decent, in my opinion. That's just kind of like my Goldberg spill. I wasn't fond of that either. I just felt like that's not the way to go. With who knows? I guess it doesn't matter if it's a Triple H regime, Nick Khan regime, Vince regime. Like, no, bro, we did the best we can with what we got, and do we wish we could have done more? But yeah, it's in every scenario in life. Yeah, of course we wish we could have done more, but this is the card we're dealt, and damn, overshadowed it. Was not a fan of that. Not a fan of that.
Unfortunately for Bill, I mean, I think the big thing he probably should have came to the realization of is like his big days were WCW. Once that went under, anything after that was going to be anything on the top of the card for that. That's just good good for him. Other than that, the legacy of Goldberg is still going to be one of intensity. I mean, the big thing I remember in high school knowing guys that like who didn't watch wrestling who knew who Goldberg was, and I remember everybody would think that like, man, if I could be built like any wrestler, it'd be that guy. Just not overly muscular, but just straight, strong, functional strength like that guy.
Goldberg, it had a fucking run, dude. Like we talked about this last week. WCW run, had a good first run, came back with Brock again, that 20 run. They came back again with The Fiend. He's had a few runs, man. Like I said, I felt like he's been respected. It's not like he was saying, I want to be here for life either.
No.
So he's always been in and out of the game. And I know he wasn't some guy who just loved wrestling coming up. It was the second career for him.
Well, and that might be the other side of it. You know, Goldberg never really acknowledged himself as a wrestler. He always kind of explained himself as a football player who wrestled.
Well, yeah, this was something I just fell on, and it was just luck, you know. And
so maybe he doesn't know the idea of like, you know, you on the way out you put someone over and that kind of thing. So.
But like you guys said too, man, to get all. It was cool to see Ernest Miller in there, Doug Dillinger, DDP. Hell yeah, awesome! And they gave you the knock. They ended that Doug knock on the door for the last time.
Man, I was happy. I'll be honest, I didn't know he was still alive. I was happy to see that.
I know, yeah, 100%. So we're gonna come back now with our Raw results from July 14th.
Oh, we did miss one thing on Saturday night's main event, though. That's kind of a big story. Was the Seth Rollins injury?
Yes, we did. Okay, let's pump the brakes, EC3. Man, okay, we can't even talk about the match because it was 4 minutes long. That was the Seth Rollins LA Knight match, and man, what a weekend of content.
So, to put things in perspective, this that happened Saturday. Today's Friday, so I'm starting to see reports now that this is storyline.
Think it'll work?
I think so.
God, it's a hell of a work. But you know what? If that's what they're gonna do to get, I love it. I'm with that 100%.
And I thought to myself like, this is incredible because if this is the route they go, now Seth is off the table for X amount of weeks. No one's thinking about him. They come in, Punk and Gunther are going back and forth at SummerSlam. You think Punk's gonna finally win the title, and all of a sudden you hear burn it down. And
oh my god, his mission to make sure he never wins that title again.
And it continues that story.
Oh my god, genius. What if though it's not?
If it's not, my only so being the insider, having the inside kind of scoop as more seasoned wrestling fans than most, the one thing you look for when you see somebody get hurt is the referee throw up the
X.
X. I didn't see that.
No X, no definitely.
And that was the one thing I was looking for the entire time. I was like, and then I started thinking about it in terms like, well, what are the odds that the doctor's like right there?
Right there. That tweak looked bad though.
It did. I'm not gonna lie.
It looked bad. It looked like, man, if he's selling that, that's why he's Seth freaking Rollins, dude.
Mm-hmm.
He is a great seller, and we always talk. He's a focal point of the podcast, no matter what we're talking about. If he's out, that changes a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
It changes a lot of directions with this fraction, with his feud with Punk, and this is a horrible. And we don't want him to ever go. We don't want any of these guys to ever be out for a prolonged period of time. But to have him out, man, is very, very. That's not what I want.
Correct.
I want, and I feel horrible for him because we talked about this a few weeks ago. He's been injured several times with his knees, and he has issues with his knees, man. He's been out, and he's been able to but he's always recovered and reinvent himself.
Right.
I love that.
And he's not hurting himself doing, stepping wrong or anything like that. He's doing backflips. He's doing, that kind of thing. So,
dude, I think we just talked about too. I don't know if I think we were texting, but the time to change his style because we talked about Austin breaking his neck and just that grappler he was before Owen hurt him, and
now he's a brawler and all that kind of thing.
These guys, there's been Karrion Kross. We're talking about taking bumps. That's how it came up. It might be time for Seth to kind of switch up his style a little bit, and
But I think with Seth, he's so active, he can still kind of get away with not doing all the, the moonsault and those kinds of things. He doesn't have to do the superplex into a Falcon Arrow anymore.
Yeah, no doubt. And he always puts his body on the line, man, and you got to respect it. And I just hope he's not out for a prolonged period of time. I see him on Rich Eisen yesterday talking about the swelling still, but that kind of gave me an indicator too. Come on, Dr. Andrews and the Birmingham does not know what the hell is wrong with your knee because too much swelling. You can't ice that shit up. But I'm not an athlete either. Maybe you could talk about that more than I can. I don't know. It does make sense. The knee's swelled up. You can't tell the ligament damage or not. But he says he's out for a long period of time. But We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Felt bad for LA Knight though, man. If this is legit, man, that guy was. You could tell he was pissed off and.
Like I said, I just hope the company has something else for him to do in the meantime before putting him into that main event character, because it slows down what he's doing.
Definitely. I love seeing him on Raw. We had the opening of Eagle Sky and Rhea Ripley with Naomi coming out, and like I love the caution thing that's going on right now. I'm always a sucker for a good little punchline, and right now Naomi's gonna ride this wave, dude, and it's gonna be a 3-way at a SummerSlam.
Naomi was she does something that I have not seen a heel do in a while, where it's just like, and it's on top of being kind of like crazy but funny, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, 100%.
But in a dangerous way.
Yeah.
Whereas, Io's getting her face, and she just looked at her stone and goes, "I don't even know what you said." Like,
I don't. I'm surprised they did that, but that's because that's what they would. That's a legit like reaction.
Yeah.
Some of these ladies who can't speak the language. Mm-hmm. It's like, I don't know what you said, but I'm gonna kick your ass
Exactly.
no matter what. Like, I love that. It's funny, and I love that she has it's like a screw loose type of vibe. And I'm with Naomi, and I'm not gonna sit here and be like I was a glow stick Naomi fan, but this type of stuff, dude, I'm all for it.
Well, and it just kind of proves now, because there's always the hierarchy on where you are in the card, but now Naomi kind of put herself now, like, I'm not, even though I'm in the women's division, I'm not on the bottom of the women's division anymore.
Yeah, and I'm here to stay, and I'm all for that. What's another thing you loved about Raw?
And again, we were just talking about the implications of his injury, but like, I like how Braun Breaker's kind of taken into this step of he's the center point now of that faction, and Paul Heyman's kind of talking him up and everything like that.
He's the next big thing.
Oh, he went through everything.
Oh my God.
He's the next big thing. He's the new big dog. He's the new, this is his yard now. All the stuff that like you would say about Brock or Roman or Taker, and now it's like, no, this is that guy now. Like, you guys just don't see it yet. We seen it. We're always talking about it, but it's just like.
And just like what Corny said in that speech, half the shit is you have to be an athlete. Mm-hmm. But half of it's luck.
Right.
And this is kind of the opportunity. When you see an opportunity, you got to do the best you can with it. And wrestling has done situations like this where guys are no longer in the cards and somebody else has to step up.
Austin gets hit, gets his neck messed up. Mm-hmm. Here comes The Rock.
Yeah, definitely. And it's this might be Braun's unfortunate opportunity to take over, and we'll see what he has. And who better to have behind the mic than Paul Heyman
exactly.
to hype you up. Love that Gunther comes out and addresses, he whooped Goldberg's ass, put in retirement. Now who's next?
Correct.
And what a gauntlet match, dude. And I'm glad they don't do this all the time, but to have it once in a great while, great touch on it.
And I'm not mad at it. I mean, he went through Penta, he went through LA Knight, he went through I think Jay.
Went through Jay.
And then at the end he finished up against Punk, and I thought that was that. Even though he didn't win the match, I think Braun still looked strong, going through 3 main event guys.
And he showed he has an engine. He has a motor.
Yep.
He didn't lose a step, and he did 3 different. He had to deal with 3 different styles, which I think that's kind of overlooked on his work. He was able to adjust to everybody because Penta's different, Jay's different, CM's different. And I really appreciate that about him.
Well, and the other thing too is I think we've talked about this before in the past, where like if we're looking at who who's the new, like who's Goldberg now, and it's Braun. Mm-hmm. But one thing that Goldberg can never do is he can never put on a match for 20, 30 minutes, and Braun definitely did that.
And that's that that NXT training, just bringing him up to the rankings, and that's no knock on Goldberg didn't really have that. No, he had
well, his style never really you can't just maul a guy for 20 minutes. You ball a guy for 5 minutes and then he's done. And that's kind of what you're trying to sell.
And Braun he's a worker, man, and you just gotta appreciate the way he adjusts to his styles. And him and Penta have this thing going on right now too, man. I think since we started this podcast, him and Penta have been at odds, and those matches don't get old, man. Don't get old.
I can't hate on it because every one of those matches I find myself watching.
Yeah, they don't get old, and that's a refreshing thing with as much as I like to complain about the formula, these matches are working. And
yeah,
I love it. We see CM Punk versus Gunther at SummerSlam.
It's a good match. 2 guys that are no nonsense kind of workers. Punk's not a spots guy. He doesn't try to be. I think he's in his mid to late 40s now, and he understands kind of where his role is, and I think that's going to work better with Gunther's style.
And I don't know if this was a surprise, but to me it was. I was watching live. Here comes Roman Reigns. Looks again. There's levels to it.
Oh, yeah.
We just seen some great. We've seen about 4 or 5 wrestlers in this gauntlet match look great, but when Roman gets in the ring, it's like, wow! It's just a different. Like I just felt like it was the way he comes in, man.
Oh man, he came in with an intensity, and
and that Samoan drop with Bronson Reed, dude. What? He made that look so easy, bro. I love Paul, man. Paul's the man right here.
Oh, he comes in this is pure greatness of Paul. Shouting, being loud enough where the crowd could hear him, but at the same time, his face right here. That when you find out where Roman is, this right there, that cell, just man. Jaw on the floor, fear, confusion, I love conveyed so well. The other guys are like, they don't know what to expect. And by the way, I got to get myself a pair of those Diamond Turf Dion's from back in the day.
For sure, man.
I saw those come up. I was like, man.
Those are hard on.
Yep.
And it's like, man, Roman looks ready to go, man. I just really enjoy. Damn. He's able to do that to Braun Breaker.
Mm-hmm.
And this Samoan dropper here with Bronson Reed. Look at this shit, dude. Off the rip.
Mm-hmm. No stutter, no nothing. Just straight
man.
Up. Oh.
God, what a dude. Just. And he's gonna hit man, and I used to hate this. Come with the Superman. I used to hate the Superman punch. Just a dog, man. Just levels. There's the levels of being great, being good, being decent, and just being elite. And Roman's an elite guy, dude.
I don't know why I was watching this thinking to myself, man, the ring looks smaller.
The ring?
Yeah.
Oh well, shit. You have those big
white or
You have guys like Bronson and Roman, dude. Roman looks small compared to Bronson, but he's still like that. The energy, man.
Oh yeah.
The crowd. What a great shot, man. We won't see what Roman has done for us until he's gone.
Right.
Or at least he'll pull this. Not gone like as in 10, 15 years, but when we don't have him on a consistent basis.
I think one of the things that, and then guys like you and I who have been following for a while, one of the things that we can really appreciate about Roman is how much he improved.
Oh yeah.
How he went from being stuck in this bubble of like what they wanted the character to be, and then when he finally kind of let him be himself a little bit more and speak to himself a little bit more, then that's when people really started to buy into him.
And he's always had the ability to be a decent wrestler, but to kind of find
his work was never the issue.
Yeah, to kind of find his niche now, and along with everything else, like promos, the way he buys into his character. It's awesome, dude.
That little cutaway to Heyman's group there. I don't know if you saw the internet version of that where they were like, Paul Heyman just goes, no.
No, I didn't see that.
It was hilarious. I think at one point Braun Breaker says something like, I thought he was dead.
And Roman's a cool. He just looks like a cool character you want to root for, and that's kind of like what everybody wants to do. They want people to gravitate towards you. You have the charisma, and he has that, man.
Well, that's what you want in your top guy. It's got to be the guy that everybody wants to be. I mean, his cousin The Rock was that guy for. He was just a cool guy. He wasn't your typical, yelling every promo, scream, old school 80. Like him and Austin were kind of the change of that. Everybody thought that was like, there's a little bit of their faces, but there's a little bit of an edge to those guys, and now definitely. Like that's why you like those guys.
What are you looking forward to right now? This week, we have Smackdown tonight.
Smackdown's tonight. Waiting to see what plays off in this whole.
We have the Cody and John Cena face off today.
Forget about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's they weren't even do it. We haven't uttered a
two
word.
top guys in the company. We haven't even talked about because everything else has been.
Yeah, that's gonna cultivate to something going to SummerSlam, but that starts tonight.
But kudos to WWE for giving us so much content to think about and talk about. The main event's almost the forgotten part of it. Yeah, no, I'm still looking. There's that. I'm looking forward to what plays. I'm really looking forward into this Solo versus Jimmy J Jacob group kind of thing going on.
And I want to give a big shout out to Rodeo Pro Wrestling, man, out of Bakersfield, California. They had a great show, the Summer Stampede. Very entertaining show, man. They had about 5 matches. think they had singles, and they had a women's match, and then they had a fatal 4-way tag team match, 8 guys, and then they had a over the top rope elimination battle royal. That's what we called it, and very good times, man. It was very fun. I shot that. I'm the photographer for that. Kind of just did the photography for them. Great, good show. As in the limitations that we have of being a startup promotion. Like I can't even tell you what that entails. I've never done this before. It's my first time. These guys, man, you could tell they're. I love being around hungry people. It doesn't matter if you're a wrestler, a DJ, a coach.
Sure.
Those young, hungry guys, it's like you have the fucking fires in their eyes, bro.
Yeah.
How can we make this better? And I love, like, dude, there was a guy, man, I'm going to butcher his name, but he was about 7 foot tall, dude. He worked like a big man. I really appreciate it. He did the double choke slams. It took 7 guys to take him out the battle royal. And is it, Vince psychology? No, but it's fun psychology.
Right.
And I really appreciate it. I think November 1st is the next one. I'll get you in there, bro. I think you'll really enjoy it.
For sure.
My guy Trev Horn was there with Paul Gola. They were out there in front row, dude.
Really?
And it's crazy how they.
I knew Trevor was a fan. I didn't pick Gola for one.
Yeah, Gola's been tag team with Horn and with Hornhive, but it's good to see them interact and capturing these photos, man. And I love that they appreciate it. And I just and just as a gig worker, you just want to be like, man, I just want someone to like my shit, and it's a unique way. Like I told the promoter, Gabe, shout out to my guy Gabe. The lighting's gonna be a little difficult. It's probably the hardest shoot I've ever had, man, but. The good thing is we're a startup wrestling program, and these darkened images I can make my own, and that's gonna be our identity.
Yeah.
And one of the guys told me, I had to show you his gimmick. Great gimmick. He's like, dude, you're the guy that we need because you're one of the most important parts of it. That made me feel good because you make us look good, and that's what the world sees, and it makes us feel good as wrestlers to see that our shit's working.
Right.
And I love it, man. It's been
well, I mean, cool. if you're a wrestler, who are you trying to appeal to? The new fans or the guys that actually appreciate the sport and that kind of thing. So it's always good to see the guys that are going to sit there and they may be a little bit more critical of what you do, but they're also more appreciative of when you do it right.
Definitely. So. And then just to see, I think they laying in, man. This shit is not. It's not ballet. Oh, no. It's not. But I love it's not deathmatch shit either.
Right.
But it's good. Quality work, and I really hope you guys check that out. I wanted to put it over if I didn't believe in it, and I think what benefits me, I was telling my guy Jules, he does the filming. I love wrestling so much. I'm always thinking about shots I would love to see from wrestlers. Yeah. So I'm always that's kind of what, and everybody, I love it. I know they love it. I'm getting a lot of good messages from people. Just, hey man, these shots are great, and I just being around wrestling, dude. I think about that shit all the time. Like we have the iconic poses, man.
Right.
If I could just get them a few of those to start the promotion up, yeah, man. So Bakersfield, California, we're getting some wrestling in here. Hell of a time. Maybe one. I told we're talking about maybe getting somebody once the show comes up, have them sit here. We got a third mic and just kind of shoot the shit a little bit, take it back, and just talk wrestling with them. I think people really enjoy that. So that's wrestling, bro. That is episode 163. This is doing the job, and we shall see you guys next time. We out.